I am not a personal fan of leaked content relating to new product releases and new catalogs, but this was a surprise to me when I saw some screenshots of the new Lionel 2020 Volume 2 catalog from a Zoom call video for Lionel Collectors Club of America, shown by the president of Lionel himself. There were some interesting products that were shown in that video, but the products that interested me the most were the new plastic shell Genset switchers, at least based on what they've shown so far from the catalog. In this video, I will be talking about these upcoming Lionel Gensets, mainly if these will be better than the diecast variants from 2012. So, let's get right into the video. So, from my initial thoughts about these new Gensets were that they weren't going to be anywhere near as nice as the diecast metal versions. In fact, I have a diecast metal variant. It's the non-Vision Line version painted up in the fantasy Kansas City Southern scheme, since Kansas City Southern does not have any 3GS21Bs. And I think it's really nicely done overall. The model has great weight, a ton of detail, most of which you don't even get with basic mainline diesels that Lionel offers, and overall a very nice build quality. But they are rather expensive at $800 US. I did manage to pick up mine mid last year for $550 in new condition with some minor cosmetic issues, since it was a display model. But now there's a new kid on the block, the cheaper plastic shell variant. Like I said before, I was not initially very interested or very impressed in it. Yes, having two motors in it instead of one is nice, although I never personally found an issue with having just one motor inside my diecast Genset. It operated perfectly fine for the most part. I also know that they will for sure take away the fully detailed cab interior, the opening compartments, and the removable cab roof when they transition to a plastic shell. And those are hallmark features of the Lionel Gensets. And with all of these downgrades, it's all for a price of around $600, which is $200 less than the diecast version. On the surface, it doesn't seem like that much of a good deal. But things got more interesting once I started reading the features list for the model. The most interesting feature I found on the list was metal frame, plastic body with added weights for traction. That's what got me interested and made me realize that it's not just a Genset with a plastic shell, an additional motor, and a lowered price. This might actually be a better model in terms of operation, and might actually be a better model still compared to the MTH variant, which is around $100 less than this. If this model will have the fixed pilots that the Lionel Gensets were well known for, which also make the model look so much more realistic compared to the MTH variant. So, in the end, you'll get a fixed pilot without having to sacrifice a traditional O-gauge coupler, assuming Lionel will keep the fixed pilot for this plastic shell variant. And of course, knowing Lionel as well, they'll probably also package in scale coupler mounting pads in this model as well, so you can put scale couplers on and it'll look a lot more realistic even compared to the MTH variant. There's even more good news as well. This version will appear to have the exact same sound system as the Vision Line version, including the sleep function as well. You will also get the same smoking setup with the non-Vision Line diecast shell Genset, which actually was made very well by Lionel. You get very even smoke output from all the stacks, as I've seen on my personal model. So with that all being said, will I be getting one for my collection? Well, that depends on what else is in the catalog, since this might be the catalog that also has the modernized and improved Assault Express set that I've been waiting for a while to see come out. However, if that's not on the catalog, this might be the only item I will purchase from it, since I'm very curious to see if Lionel makes this rendition like how they did the plastic shell ES44s when they first came out, which were incredible models for the price. They took the Vision Line features out that were not really needed, metal shell, intelligent smoke unit, and motorized roof fans, but kept the amazing prime mover sounds, and they even threw in the kinematic pilots, the awesome trucks, and the fuel tank, to create a properly downgraded ES44 Ace that more people could enjoy. I hope the downgrade on their Gensets will follow the same path as the ES44 Ace, So far, it looks like that'll be the case for the most part. I do hope that they will be able to confirm that the fixed pilots will stay on the plastic shell variant. My theory behind this model is that the walkways will still be made out of metal, while the long hood, short hood, and cab will all be molded in plastic with metal add-on parts. I would also guess that all the vents on the side will be cast in, like the plastic shell ES44 Aces. I will ask on the live stream this week for Train World if all I mentioned will be the case on the new run. I will put a pinned comment on this video if this is indeed confirmed. That's really about it for the video. It'll be very interesting to see how Lionel does this downgraded Genset, and if it'll become as popular of a model as the ES44 Ace became when they introduced the plastic shell variant. Hopefully there'll be a high headlight version in the future, since they currently have NS and UP with nose-mounted headlights, which are not really correct. So likely, if I were to pick one of these up, I would pick it up in the BNSF scheme, since I've seen that a lot, and I personally like the BNSF scheme a lot. Also, real quick, the UP graffiti variant of the Genset is a really cool idea on Lionel's part. As much as I dislike seeing vandalism on locomotives, it's not avoidable, and I applaud Lionel for trying out a scheme like this on a locomotive for once. The graffiti variant is actually $25 more, which is actually pretty reasonable in my opinion. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll end it off here before I start rambling more about these, so catch you guys in the next one. Bye.